Out of all my cars, I think my favourite definitely is the 991. I know it sounds so obvious, but that was always the dream. If it was my first Porsche, it's going to be my last Porsche. Never getting rid of that car. It's just, yeah. When everybody says, you know, what have you got? That's the first one. I say, I've got this, because it's just the one I'm most proud of. I love it. I'm Josh, I'm from North Wales, and I'm a member of Porsche Club GB. My earliest Porsche memory would probably be when I was like 3 or 4. My dad had a 993 Turbo S in black with a full red terracotta interior. Sundays, you know, he'd take me and my mum out for a drive, and I'd be sat in the back, and I always used to think it was crazy that the engine was in the back of this car, and like if I put my head on the wheel, I actually could hear it, and that was probably my earliest Porsche memory. My dad always had a turbo, was always present. He had his first turbo way before I was born. I think he bought his first one in like 1982. He's always been in the club. We've got Porsche posts back from 1980s, 1981. Again, when I was really young, he was actually the regional organiser. So, again, in the Turbo S and the LE, we'd go to the club events, and it was always a massive part of my childhood was, where are we going this weekend with the Porsche Club? And because, like, you know, we'd always go to these amazing places with all these amazing cars. Started the family business, which is a car dealership. So, you know, if we weren't doing Porsche stuff at home, you know, I was doing car stuff with him in the garage. School holidays, I'd be in the garage cleaning cars, pestering the salesman. So I just always loved cars, and it's always been the 911. It's always been there, you know, obviously because it's what my dad had, and it's just like, I've always been obsessed with a Porsche, really. Just, it was in the garage in work with my dad, and we were, you know, I was on Facebook, as you do, and Paragon put up a picture of this 991 GTS in Carrera white with full red interior, and I mean, that is, for me, the last of the naturally aspirated 911s. It was just, yeah, my dream. I was like, oh, look at this, look how amazing this is. But obviously it was way over where I was comfortable spending on a car, because I mean, you know, when you're 25, you need to buy a house, you need to grow up, you need to move out and all that. So I showed my dad that, and then yeah, a week later, no more house deposit, but the GTS was on the way. It was the best day of my life. I mean, I'll never ever forget it, and I can remember it. I mean, I know it wasn't that long ago, but I can remember it like it was yesterday, honestly. I mean, I remember turning up and it was there, pride of place in the showroom, at the window was sold on it. And I was like, that's not my car. Like, it did not feel real. And you know, I mean, at the time they had like 2 Carrera GTs in the showroom. They had like 993 race cars, and all of that was just, I just looked at my 991, like, I couldn't believe it. And there's a really fun picture of me sat in it for the first time in the showroom. It's just, yeah, like, I remember the smell, and I was like, this is my car. And like, you know, my dad's got a 991, so I was used to being around him, but it just, I don't know, it's surreal when it's your own, and unbelievable. And then just the drive back. I'd like to say it was one of the best drives of my life, but I mean we're talking like Dartford Tunnel, M6. It was, but yeah, just the whole drive home, I'm just smiling, laughing, not at anything really, just the fact that, oh my God, this is my dream car, and it's mine, I'm in it, and yeah, couldn't believe it. Almost second nature. If you've got a Porsche, you've got to be in the Porsche Club. Joined straight away that night, and then I was like, oh, what can we do? And it was only 2 weeks later, the Region 6 was having a get together. Gotta go, Hannah, and take the 991, show it off to everybody. Being the Porsche Club, I mean, it sounds really cliche, but it's almost having like a second family that you can just chat to about Porsches and where you're gonna go and what you do with the cars, and you don't feel like you talk to somebody and boring them because they have the exact same interest. You can be 21 and you can be 81 and you can have a great conversation because you're there for the same reason, really, is just to enjoy your car and speak to like-minded people. The WhatsApp communities are really nice. You're chatting all the time just about things and stuff, about what's going on in the local area. And then the club runs are always really nice, getting together, and you build up some really good friendships with people that you wouldn't generally meet you know, because some of my really good friends from the club, you know, they're from completely different walks of life from me, and you know, we get on great and we're just chatting all the time, but I'd never have met them if it wasn't for the Porsche Club run. I wanted something a bit more usable that I didn't have to worry too much about, like where I'm going, because with the 991, where am I going on Google Maps? Is there a good car park? I've got plenty of room to open the doors. So it was on the radar. I wanted something else, but I daren't tell my mother, because I mean, she was already disappointed that not only have I not moved out, I've now taken up another space in the garage with this car. In the garage, I had a Jeep Wrangler for sale, and somebody on the island was like, "Oh, I want to part exchange a 911." I was like, "Huh?" I'm sure I can have a look at that and see if we can sort something out. And I turned up for this 996.2 Carrera 4S, and it had like the turbo style rear wing on it in the Arctic silver. I saw this car and I was like, you know, we're 20 years on now. The shape, rear end, the roofline shape, it's such an iconic 911 in itself. And then actually when you come around to the front and you see, the headlights have aged really, really well. As soon as I sat in it, so much smaller than the 991, it felt like a classic car, but with, you know, mod cons, like it's got bows and climate control, trip computer. But yeah, and I took the car down the road, and obviously when you drive the 991, it's development of grip through aerodynamics, and because obviously it's a two-wheel drive car, you feel super planted on the road. And then you get the C4S, and it's like, it's all mechanical grip. The car felt planted and knew exactly what it was going to do at any point. Not that it was driving hard, obviously it wasn't mine at this point. And I was like, yeah, I had this, you know, if it takes a part exchange, this is going to be my, this is going to be mine. And anyway, yeah, we did the deal with the Jeep, and the C4S joined the stable. Honestly, it's probably the Porsche I use the most. I just love it, absolutely love it. It's analog, but not impractical. You know, we've got Goodwood, take the 996 because you know it's going to get and you know you've got aircon and it's going to be nice. Like, got the new PCM in there, so you can use Google Maps and whatever. But at the same time, it's just a really nice car to be in, really nice place to be. After 996 was the 944. Me and Hannah were on holiday. I saw this in Mallorca. I saw this 944. That's amazing. I need one of them. It's super, just 80s retro cool. So again, straight on eBay, looking at, you know, what I could get, and I thought, no, I want a 944 turbo. So I'm gonna look, and then up in Northern Ireland, this red S2 came for sale. Car's red, grey leather, just super iconic with the 964 turbo wheels on it. I was like, that's a really, really good looking car. So I rang the dealer up and I was like, look, you've got this car, I want to buy it. I was like, can you meet me in Dublin Ferryport? Rainy, drizzly day. Turned up on the ferry, not knowing what I'd bought, never even sat in a 944. Yeah, there it was. I mean, you know, in a grey, horrible environment, there was this red 944. Straight away, it was just an instant click with it. It's a weird driving experience. It's almost difficult to drive in a certain sense that you jump in the 911 and it's great and off you go. I don't know whether it's just the age thing, but it's slow manoeuvring or, you know, just popping around town or whatever. It's just not a happy car. It's, you know, judging like that and heavy steering and whatnot, which is, it's part of the charm of it. I love it. But once you get it on an open road around twisty bends, it's such a nice driving car, and I think a real underrated car. I think all of the transaxle Porsches are really, really underrated. I mean, they're every bit of a Porsche that a 911 is. They've got the smell, they've got the feel, and, you know, everywhere you go, people talk to you about it, and yeah, it's just a really lovely car. More recently, just bought the 928 about 2 months ago. I don't really know how that happened. We went to the Fight International Ice Race back in January, obviously not in Austria, and there was one there on the airfield, this 928, and it was used, really well used. And it had this ski rack, you know, the ones that like suction cup onto the back glads, so it had these skis on the back of it. And I just looked at this 80s cheese wedge in front of me, these skis on the back of it, and I thought, it's really cool. I don't know why, but it's really, really cool. Again, but another thought that I kept to myself. I was like, I can't buy another one, this is disastrous. And then I started having a look around, and then I've seen this one on Auto Trader. You know, you can see the car hadn't been used for a long, long time, and it just needed a bit of tender love and care. And yeah, that's the next journey. See what we can do with that. But I love it. It's great. That's the most recent car. There was one in the middle of that, which wasn't mine. So obviously within all this, so my girlfriend's now been around Porsches all the time, and she never really looked at them, and she's deciding, no, I want to sell one. And yeah, so we decided on a 986. So we found one again in Oswestry after a few months of looking. Opened his garage, and there it was, Arctic Silver with the terracotta interior. Again, a really, really nice car that was just being undersold, really, and got it. And obviously, as soon as the doors opened, I looked at Anna and I was like, oh, we're going home with this. I saw the look on her face with it. And yeah, I mean, you know, she very kindly let me drive it home. I get never even been in a Boxster 986, and it's just a class car. It's so much more similar to the 996 than I would have thought, but it's just such a different kettle of fish. It's super comfy, real life cruiser, but again, you know, you start chucking it around, the balance comes into it. I don't know whether it was a showroom car or a demonstrator, but you know, I mean, when we were looking around this car, it's got some really, really special options on it, like the crests and the headrests, the sports seats, the Boxster embossed on the door handle, and the colour-coded centre console. I was like, this is a really special car. It's almost put a lot of thought into the specification when the car was new. And then yeah, we later discovered, looking through all the paperwork, that it was an originally owned by JCT 600 in Sutton Coldfield. So you know, it's quite a nice one to preserve, really. In terms of getting out and driving, probably not often as I'd like to. You know, life gets in the way, and you know, North Wales and driving roads sort of goes hand in hand, doesn't it? So super lucky where we are. Again, the Porsche Club, when we have these meetups, it's always at the end of a route. So you know, at least once a month we'll go out with Region 6, and you know, wherever we're going, there'll be a nice route along the way, and you're in a convoy of other Porsches. It's just great, and there's no fear like it.